All I have in this world is my balls and my word, and I don't break them for no one. Do you understand?
What up, YouTube? Big T.O. Heavy Bad Boxing TV, man. If you don't get your big goofy ass in here and hit the bag, hit that like button for your boy. That helps the channel. You know, I appreciate that love. Shout out my gang, my bag hitters. Tyree Celestine, Sean the Don, my Aussie family, Mark Wynn, Black Jesus, my guy Troy Jack, D1's Boxing. Man, Letitia, Coco, y'all know the game, man. I appreciate that love. All right, listen. Subriel Matias. I'm a little throwed off about this one, right? Because we hear all of the rumblings about him fighting Liam Paro out of Australia, 24-0, 15 big wins by knockout. Coming off the biggest win of his career versus a Montana Love, which he got the 6-round stoppage, I believe, in extremely impressive fashion. And I thought that was a suitable opponent for Subriel Matias. Now, mind you, I think a lot of people felt Subriel would walk right through Paro, but I thought Paro, with some of the footwork and most definitely the power he displayed against somebody like a Montana Love, who in my opinion isn't no pushover, had a lot of hype behind him, was a heavy favorite in that fight and was supposed to, beat Paro in that fight. I thought Paro showed a lot in that fight. So to hear that Matchroom promoter Frank Smith is completely shutting down the rumors that this fight is happening, which again I believe was a good fight for Subriel Matias to, get him even further prepared for any unifications that might happen in the near future, which I think he's prepared for right now. But to take him off the table, I'm like, why, right? Because they come out and they tell us that Frank Smith tells us that more than likely that fight's not happening. And then he goes on to say it's straight not happening. Matter of fact, this is what he had to say, quote, "I don't think it will happen. It will be Liam Paro. I know there's a lot online about it being Paro, but I don't think it will be. We're working through the list of opponents now, but it won't be him." End quote from Frank Smith, Matchroom promoter, right? And then mind you, Subriel Matias just inked a 5-year multi-fight deal with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, a co-promoter deal, right? So for him to come out and just shut that down, I would love to know why, right? I'm still, you know what I'm saying? It's a big question mark out there about why that fight with Paro wouldn't work out. Again, from what I have seen from Paro in the past, I like the kid, and I think that's a tough task, but maybe not a big enough name, because this list that they have for Subriel Matias, it's more names that you've heard of, right? Even though I think Aussie support their own for sure, and somebody like Paro, maybe they want to give more time to build up that name, as being from Australia, you could potentially be a big ticket like Tim Tszyu is right now in Australia for sure. But that list that they're talking about consists of a Regis Prograis, a Matthew Germain, a Arnold Barboza, a Elvis Rodriguez, a Jose Ramirez. Now, for most of us hardcore fans, we've heard of all of those names. And I'm not mad at some of these names. But for me, the one that sits out the biggest, who's coming off of a loss, but a pay-per-view loss, who probably has a little bit more clout than the rest, and is a style or stylistically compatible, I believe, to a Subriel Matias, is a Regis Prograis, right? If we get a Regis Prograis Subriel Matias matchup, they're not gonna have to look hard to find one another. I think in the Devin Haney fight, we got to see just how flat-footed and how flat-footed and non-mobile Regis Prograis truly is now at a ripe old 35 years old. And a Subriel Matias at 31 years old, You know, he's a come forward fighter. He's coming to take two to give you three. That's his style. It's a fan play. It's a crowd favorite, fan favorite style. And I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all styles, but you have to admit Subriel Matias style is extremely exciting and fun to watch. And if you match that up versus a Regis Prograis who has a similar style, I'm not sure in this fight who would even be the better boxer or who would have the better footwork. It has the makings to be somewhat of a pocket fight, a rock'em sock'em type fight. When you look at Regis Prograis compared to the rest of that list, he probably has the bigger name, a little bit more clout, and again coming off of a pay-per-view appearance. So for me, that makes all the sense in the world if you're not gonna stick with Pyro. Yeah. I like that fight. If we gonna have, this is the list that they're putting in front of Subriel Matias, and of course, there's no unification names on this list. And like I said before, I believe Subriel Matias is ready for any one of those champions at 140. When you look at the landscape, when you look at a Rolly, Devin Haney, or Teofimo Lopez, I do believe the boxers probably could give him some fits in the first part of this fight. But I believe Subriel Matias could defeat any one of those guys, right? As of right now. But of course, you know you got to milk that cow for a little bit. And again, if this is the list that you're presenting, a Prograis, a Jermaine, a Barboza, a Elvis, a Ramirez, and I like some of those fights, especially when you look at the Barboza fight. You know, this will be a true test for him. There will probably be the toughest task to date for Subriel Matias. Not going to rule that one out. I'm pretty sure they're looking at that Honorable Barboza fight extremely hard as well. But I think you make the bigger statement versus somebody like a Regis Prograis, who's, of course, a former two-time champion at 140. Only two losses coming to, at the time, the lineal champion and Josh Taylor. And, of course, Devin Haney coming off a pay-per-view, his first pay-per-view. So a lot of clout there for Subriel to chase in this particular position with the Regis Prograis. Just makes the most sense to me. Again, if this is the list that you're going to go and you're going to completely avoid, well, I'm not going to say avoid Pyro, but rule out Pyro. I'm not sure why, but if you're going to rule him out and this is the list, I definitely like Regis Prograis. Guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about that one, man. Would you like to see that Rougarou and Matias showdown, that Matias and Regis Prograis showdown? I think that's fireworks. Guys, let me know what you think. Big T.O. Heavy Bag. Talk to him, Roger.
Most motherfuckers don't know shit about boxing.